It is DeepSeek. Go.
DeepSeek. Okay. DeepSeek, not a model. DeepSeek is a company. It's a fintech hedge fund in China. They developed a lot of really great models. One is DeepSeek V3 that was used to help build DeepSeek R1. DeepSeek V3 is a much bigger deal in my mind than DeepSeek R1, but DeepSeek R1 is the one that captured everyone's attention because it, competes with OpenAI's O1. And it's a feat of engineering. It's a beautiful piece of technology that, thankfully, in my mind, is they offer open weights so you can download the model, and they offer open architecture so you can see how they trained it and how it's built. I'm given, despite that, it is much less. It is a much smaller deal than people are making of it. It's not open source, that's first and foremost because we don't know what data it was trained on, and it is not, nearly. So the big takeaway is like they only use $6 million to train the model. You know, in that way of accounting, I only needed $100 to, you know,
To buy
uh,
your house.
to buy my house because on that particular day I only transferred $100 to the to the person, and then the next day I put in 50 grand or whatever. It's just they were very precise about this. I'm not saying that DeepSeek and that team is lying. I think that sensationalist folks wanted to pull cherry pick quotes from the paper. By all accounts it probably costs on the order of we're talking tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars to get these models out the door when you consider humans, when you consider all the chips that it took to train the models that they then used for experimentation purposes. I mean, just across the board. And furthermore, we were also seeing that the trends in price reduction are actually within like a 2 or 3x, some say like 3 to 5x, differential between the actual training for DeepSeek V3 and then R1, as was the case for O3. I'm sorry, O1 6 to 9 months ago, right? And so we're actually seeing like a continuation of the drop, and which is predicted,
Mhm.
which again within 3 to 5x is actually a pretty good prediction. Again, it's a feat of engineering that made things cheaper, but this whole narrative that like, oh, China made something with $6 million that we spent $1 billion on, and as a result, we're cooked. It's like, please understand the research better. Please read folks who are a little bit more grounded in it, and see it for the great feat of engineering that it is. But it is not this colossal thing that is coming for everybody's jobs.
In the world of AI, I see a lot of knee jerk reactions to news
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And when DeepSeek came out, it was the Monday after. When I say came out, like when it was launched, it was the Monday after the week before where President Trump had announced the Stargate
Yep.
initiative, where he's giving half a trillion for AI investments in the U.S.
Yeah, and he's not giving anything, right? This is 100% from private companies.
Okay, private companies. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It was just such a gut punch for the U.S. AI team because I
yep,
feel like we're back in the Cold War, and we're like, who can get up into the outer atmosphere? Who can go around the Earth? Who can go to the moon?
right.
And this felt like we were really excited because we got to the outer atmosphere, and then they send, what was it, Sputnik or whatever, that went around the globe or whatever. So it was just kind of like, damn, and I read the article and it said something about Sputnik, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good parallel. The stock market took a huge deal.
Oh
We're
my
talking like
gosh,
$2 trillion came out of the stock market over the
insane.
next 10 days
Yeah,
because of that knee jerk reaction. Now everyone is a little bit better read on it. I love what you've just said. Clearly it didn't cost them $6 million, right? Like
yeah,
that's just not
yeah.
how that works.